everyone decides that the young drivers are the bad drivers. And we wanted to prove that it's not the case. And we wanted to give the young drivers the possibility to earn the cashback.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Insurance Telematics podcast. And I'm very excited that today we can introduce our first external guest to our podcast. Welcome, Barbora.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
About myself? I wasn't prepared for this question. So I'm Barbora. I work for Volkswagen Versicherungsdienst and Porsche Insurance. And what I'm responsible for is marketing, business development, and product management.
And we actually invited you today not to only talk about the companies you're working for, but to talk about the product we jointly introduced to the market. So you are introducing the Smart Driver app to the market, and we're proud to being able to provide the underlying technology. Can you tell us a little bit about Smart Driver?
Yes, so Smart Driver is our telematics app or driving style app, as we call it also. So historically, we only wanted to implement this for the young drivers because basically just per assumption, everyone decides that the young drivers are the bad drivers. And we wanted to prove that it's not the case. And we wanted to give the young drivers the possibility to earn the cashback when they're driving safely and sustainably. And this started working out really well. So we decided to open the app, open the Smart Driver for all our drivers, all our clients. And ever since then, the numbers have been going up. The people are very happy. And we really like Smart Driver as a part of our, insurance strategy also, I would say. So in a nutshell, it's our telematics app. And what our goal is and still remains is, of course, making sure that the roads are safe. Well, safer roads mean less accidents, and that's something that's very important for the insurance, as you know. And of course, the second thing is keeping in touch with our customers, because that wasn't really a big possibility before. As you know, the number of touch points that an insurance company has with the customers is not that big. It's usually in case of claims or in case of, rising the premiums once a year. So we wanted to have more touch points with the customer, positive touch points with the customer. And this is something that Smart Driver helps us with.
Awesome. So what you're saying is that Smart Driver is an app initially built for young drivers that you now rolled out to your entire portfolio, and that gives people to earn a cashback on their insurance premium based on their driving behavior.
Exactly.
So do you use it yourself?
Yes, I use it myself. I use it, of course, for trial purposes, but now I enjoy it almost on a daily basis, and me and my family always have competitions about who the better driver is. So finally, we have an app or an objective that can answer us this question.
So how do you do this with your families? Are you calling yourself and you changing your score? You have a WhatsApp group, or?
We have our family WhatsApp group. So we exchange screenshots of our drives and compare them. We'll see who has the first 100-point drive. And this is usually the way we do.
Awesome. So when you say you use it yourself, do you think that by any means, do you think your driving style changed?
I would say, it changed in terms of I'm much more aware of the speeding limits. So that's probably one thing. And I get mirrored, the driving behavior is mirrored to me. So I see where the acceleration happened and stuff like that. So when you have after every drive, you have a score. So it makes you think about what you did and how you drove. And with the green score that we also implemented, how sustainable your driving was.
Okay. So besides the fact that you're actually giving a cashback to a driver, what's the motivation for people to use the Smart Driver app? Is it purely based on the cashback? So the only promise is you get money back, or are there other features that let's say are liked by the customers?
So I think the cashback is probably the biggest motivation for the people to use the smart driver. But I think it's also the whole gamification impulse of it. So we have monthly challenges. We have a goodie store, like a loyalty program where you can exchange points for gifts or events and stuff like that. So that's also something that I think, or I know that a lot of users really like. And what kind of surprised me is that we had a questionnaire asking the users why they use the Smart Drive app. And a lot of them say that they really like, the analysis of their driving behavior. So it's also that one, yeah.
Which is not so typical for
Yeah,
Austrians,
I know. I was
right?
really surprised as well, yeah.
Normally, we think that we're best drivers, right? So any kind of feedback, only positive.
Yeah.
If it's not positive, it's not so appreciated. So very interesting. So are you doing something? So what I understand right now is that you want to, let's say, encourage people to drive safer, and you do this in different means. By first of all giving a cashback and also using gamification. You were mentioning there are points one can collect, and you can use these points in a goodie store. You can participate in challenges, etc. Is there anything you are doing in order to prevent accidents besides giving me feedback?
There are quite some things that we're doing to prevent accidents. One of the things is, I would say, the weather alerts. So when we know there's, maybe a hailstorm coming and stuff like that, we alert our drivers based on the location of their phone, which means they have the chance to, put the car in the garage or park it somewhere else, maybe, for example. And I would say just the mirroring of the driving behavior and making the people drive maybe a little bit slower, a little bit more cautiously, is something that prevents accidents in general. So when we look at the statistics and stuff like that, we see that most of the people really do improve their general score by a couple of points. And we also see like the claims ratio of the smart driver group is lower than the ones that don't use it. So I would really say just the pure usage of it does prevent accidents as well.
You mentioned that you did a survey in order to understand whether people like or dislike and what the people specifically like about the Smart Driver app. How are you defining success for you as an insurance company to say whether this is a successful program or this is a not successful program?
Well, from my marketing perspective, it's of course the number of daily users, the feedback we get from the users, not just through the questionnaire, but the feedback that the customer support gets, the app ratings in the App Store and stuff like that. So that's something that makes me very happy from the marketing point of view. Then, of course, we have, I think, a 6% growth rate every month, which is also a number that makes us very proud. And of course, what I mentioned before, that the whole Smart Driver group as a community as a whole really does have a lower claims ratio. So I would say it's a success from the strategic point of view of the insurance in general, yeah.
So it seems that it has become an integral part of your DNA. So, and I know because I recently ordered a car with a Volkswagen dealer, and when I did my financing with Porsche Bank, and I saw on the screen that I had the option to actually select Smart Driver as the opportunity to get a 20% up to 20% cashback, depending on my driving style. So you really incorporated this deeply with your dealer network. And Porsche in Austria is dealing with brands like Volkswagen, Audi, Seat, Skoda, I think Lamborghini, Bentley, Ducati, Porsche.
Not the typical smart drivers.
Not the typical. Who is the typical smart driver?
We actually have not been able to identify this group. Like, we had some assumptions, but there is no age or other demographical measures that would just really define the smart driver. I would say it's more people that are really interested in learning something about their own driving style, people that do want to get the cashback, that are excited that their own driving makes them save money. So it's definitely, I think, more the psychological point of view than the demographical, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, and the people that, I don't know, like to have gamification apps that are fun.
Awesome. So it sounds that Smart Driver is deeply integrated with you. So it seems to be integrated from an actuarial perspective. So you implemented it into your pricing. You have incorporated it into your marketing communication.
Yeah.
It seems that you issue, let's say, constant messages, let's say behavior-based or event-based messages like weather alerts. You have goodies, you do challenges. So that means you actually operate a broad ecosystem. So how many people actually work? So is it like you have a bunch of people that operate this program?
It's nice that you think that, but no. It's actually a very few that work on the Smart Driver app from our perspective, and none of them do it full time. So they do it as an integral part of their own specialties. So we have a project lead. We have someone that does the marketing for the Smart Driver. We have someone that does the marketing automation in the background, and we have someone that does the customer support. So basically, it's a couple of people that do it part-time. And after the setup, that's basically everything we need to keep it up and running and keep developing new things as well.
What can we expect in the future from Smart Driver? So anything you want or you can already disclose? Or in which direction are you going? Or is this a complete secret?
I don't want to disclose too much because I think the whole aura of what comes next should be a little bit of a question mark. But yeah, we do have big plans. Of course, we are thinking about the integration, of course, with the OEMs. We are thinking about, how we can use it to get new customers, for example. So there are a lot of ways that we can bring Smart Driver to the next level, but I wouldn't mention anything specific at the moment.
Awesome. So you were mentioning bringing new people in. As I noticed, your app is not only available to people who are insured with Porsche Bank or with a related insurance company, but you actually propose the app to everybody who is to everybody who lives in Austria and has an Austrian App Store or Google Play Store account. Why that?
Because, why limit it to our customers? Because what initially we wanted to do is to learn a lot more about the driving behavior of the people in general. So for this to actually statistically happen in some way, you have to have a broader base of people. So that's one thing. And the second, we want to Porsche Insurance to be known to a lot more people. For new customers, maybe to consider us for the next time they are insuring their car. Knowing that they can, as not customers, they can participate in challenges now and, use the goodie store now, but they can't get the cashback, of course. So this would be a new motivation for them to, consider Porsche Versicherung as their new insurance provider for the future.
So make the customer say, I could have earned 20% of my insurance premium back, but I'm not because I'm with another. I'm not insured there. So my next car should definitely insured with you.
Exactly.
You mentioned OEMs. So, there is already availability of OEM data, and specifically you as a company who is, let's say, strongly related to the, let's say, the largest automotive manufacturers in Europe. How do you see this? So, when will we be at a stage where we can get, let's say, meaningful OEM data in order to, let's say, do better pricing decisions, etc.?
Well, I think that's a hard question to answer. In my perspective, OEM data is going to play a big role in the telematics in the future, of course. Is it going to play the only role? Probably not. I think it's important to see what kind of data is available, how it's structured and stuff like that, how it's really become available for the insurance. So I would say it's like in the mid-range time frame.
what we always claim, and I'm curious about your opinion in this, is that, well, OEMs can give you some data, but they can give you data on what's happening with the car, and there is no way to communicate with people who are, let's say, outside their car. And if you look at numbers, and it's pretty the same in Europe than in the US. So the average car is driven about 4 to 5% of its lifetime. So there is a lot of time where people are not in cars, so mainly 23 hours per day on average. So, and this is why, in our perspective, smartphone telematics is so important, because it has this human-machine interface, it has this graphic user interface that actually does what you mentioned in the very beginning, that you said customer touchpoints are so important, because insurance companies are not blessed with an environment or with a status in the customer's heart, which allows too many customer touchpoints. Do you agree? Do you have...
Yeah.
You wanna...
I completely agree. I think for me, in my personal opinion, it's going to be a hybrid version of both. It's probably going to be OEM data with some kind of a app layer, because the vehicle data, of course, is important. It's in some ways, for sure, probably more reliable in terms of mileage and stuff like that. But the behavioral-based data, stuff that you can only get from your smartphone, is still going to be an important part in the whole scoring. Yeah.
Awesome. A very last question I do have is, when you implemented Smart Driver, so what was the process of doing it? So who was the driver? Was it an actuarial push? Was it a marketing push? How did the whole story come up?
The whole story came up before it was my story, so I can only tell you this from my perspective. It was definitely starting from the actuarial point of view, and quickly became a marketing instrument, I would say. Because we realized what kind of potential hides within, like communicating with your customer on a daily basis, what kind of potential lies within the customer loyalty aspect of the whole thing. So I would say now at the moment, the actuarial part is kind of set. Like we keep determining, is it like the hypothesis that we had at the beginning, is it still working the way we planned? Are the people and the scores like improving the way we want to? How are the damages and stuff like that? But on the other way, like pushing the whole marketing part also like very, very strongly. We have, as you know, like we have the green score, we have the whole sustainability part of it as well. So we try to make a whole ecosystem out of it.
Awesome. So in order to summarize, I will try, because there was so much valuable information now, but let me summarize. So you initially created a product which was driven by actuaries, but quickly adopted by marketing, because you understood that you can actually target different demographics, which seem to be high-risk drivers, because you mentioned that you started with young drivers in the first place, in order to determine whether this is true or not, because most of the young drivers are actually very good drivers. There is a relative percentage which is, let's say, has a higher tendency to having a claim.
As they are in every demographics. So.
As they are, absolutely. And you also found that the pure scoring alone should be supplemented, or should be, let's say, contributed, or let's say, there should be complementary features, like you mentioned that you have points that you issue for good driving, which people can use in a store, challenges where people can participate, not the ones that you have with your family where you're sharing screenshots, but let's say general challenges where people, let's say, and I'm using the app as well, where you, let's say, avoid your smartphone while driving and respect speed limits, which is the hardest part for me, and so forth. And you also do something towards prediction. So risk prediction, risk prevention. So you look at, for example, weather events, and you warn customers accordingly. So, and you operate the whole thing with, let's say, a handful of people who do that part-time, but it still is an integral part of your company's DNA. Can we conclude with this?
Yeah, good conclusion.
Awesome. Barbara, thank you so much for being here with us today.
You were welcome.
And we hope that Smart Driver will have you again on the podcast when you can disclose all the great new things that you're going to implement. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're liking this podcast, please not only leave us a like, but please subscribe and turn on notifications so you understand when we're issuing a new episode. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you all.